Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. For those who are new here, my name is Sierra here at the Robinson home, and I'm so glad you're here. If you're new, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can be notified every time that I post. And I know that I have not been posting very much, that this is kind of a life update after this life update that I just did a month or probably more than a month ago. Anyways, today I'm going to be doing my first trimester update. I'm currently 22 weeks pregnant, so I am very behind with my pregnancy updates. But if you're unaware that I'm pregnant, go check out my last video. I'll link it up here and in the description box below, so you can go check that out. Like I said, I'm 22 weeks pregnant, and we know the gender. We found out at 11 weeks, so I'll get into that in a minute. But first, I kind of wanted to start from the very beginning and talk from before I found out I was pregnant all the way until about 13 weeks, and then I can do a second trimester update once I'm out of the second trimester, which will be, I think, in like 5 weeks. I think it ends at 27. I don't remember when the second trimester ends. It makes sense that it'd be around then. Maybe it's 30 weeks. I don't remember. Anyways, so I just have some notes on my phone here that I took a long time ago. So before I found out that I was pregnant, we were wanting to get pregnant, and we had been trying to get pregnant, I think, for a couple of months. I think this was just for both of our girls. I think that it took us one cycle before, so 2 cycles in order to get pregnant. And if you're unaware, also I had a miscarriage in between my 2 girls. May will be 3 in a week, and Greta will be, or just turned 1 in September. And so in between them, we had a miscarriage. And anyways, I have other videos on that. When I found out I was pregnant with Greta, I talked a little bit about that miscarriage. And so I'll link that video down below also. So I had been putting notes in here of little signs that I had that maybe I was pregnant. I wrote down that I was a little bit nauseous, and I don't think that this was months ago. So I'm assuming this wasn't any like extreme nausea, but just like kind of like odd that I felt a little bit nauseous. I was exhausted. My pelvis hurt. I wrote down that I had like a twinge, kind of like, I think probably in like my ovary area, like just kind of like a twinge there. I don't really break out. I don't get pimples that often, but since I got a pimple, that I was bloating. I had some sciatica. Sciatica only really flares up for me during pregnancy. And so I wrote down that I was feeling a little bit of that. I have a spot on my stomach that randomly hurts. I've been to the doctor for it. I've had a CT scan. Anyways, they can't find anything. So, but it started to hurt, and that usually hurts during my pregnancies. It can hurt other times too, but during pregnancy, that's kind of when it like flares up. I was impatient. I was crampy. I wrote tightening down. I don't really know what that means or what I meant. I had a vivid dream. That's like to me, I really dislike the vivid dreams in pregnancy, because mine aren't good. And so they're not enjoyable, like exciting dreams that are vivid. So there's that. It says twingy, stuffy nose and swollen gland. That I was waking up at night. My gums started bleeding. And this was one of those things that I was like, okay, this is kind of seeming, you know, my gums don't bleed all the time. Maybe I had just brushed hard that day. I don't know. And then I wrote down so sick. And so I was obviously really hoping that I was pregnant too with all of these symptoms. So we found out I was pregnant. I think that I already talked about this in the life update. I think that I did already. Pretty sure I did. But if I didn't, I'll just do a quick thing. It was on the 4th of July. I think it was 4th of July. Anyways, and I feel like I had a yeast infection, so I had my husband and his sister go out and get a pregnancy test. She was visiting, and my mother-in-law was visiting. So they went and got that and some medicine for me, and I took it, and I was pregnant, and it was the clear blue one, and I waited until the next morning to take the digital one that said pregnant. But that night Brett said, "I'm sorry you're feeling so sick." And I was like, "Oh, it's probably the morning sickness." And he was like, and I showed it to him. It obviously wasn't morning sickness, but I thought it'd be a cute way to tell him that I was pregnant. And so that was exciting. So I I'm trying to think when I found out that I was pregnant. If I was, actually I can just find it right here. I use the Ovia pregnancy app, and I've used that for all of my babies. And with May, my first, I was definitely a lot more avid in using it. I was at the beginning with this pregnancy, but I have just been slacking for about a month and a half now. Let's see, I found out at 3 weeks, 5 days that I was pregnant. So pretty early, but I am not patient with things like this. So at 4 weeks, I wrote down that I was so tired that I was taking naps. I remember being so tired at the beginning of this pregnancy. Every time I've been pregnant, I think that I've thought that I'm having twins, and I haven't been pregnant with twins ever. But so I was so tired. I didn't want any sweet stuff. I guess I wrote down that I had a starburst, but I didn't want sweet. It says no sweet stuff, and I couldn't wear jeans. So I was starting to be, I guess I was pretty bloated at this point. At 5 weeks, I wrote down that I was emotional and tired, and the thought or smell or whatever of, I don't know if you've heard of Lowry's seasoning salt, but I did not want that. I would get like a line on my stomach from the clothes I would be wearing. My spit accumulated. That sounds kind of gross, but you get a lot of spit during pregnancy, or saliva, I guess I should say. I guess that I was peeing a lot. My morning sickness was seeping in if I didn't eat, so it wasn't at a high or anything like that. It must have just been kind of slowly coming in. And then I wrote down that I had a fever, so I must have been kind of sick. At 6 weeks, I wrote that I had a little bit of morning sickness. It wasn't bad, like terrible at 6 weeks yet, but I was less tired. Still, the clothes were making a mark on my stomach. I was still peeing a lot and fatigued and a little bit out of breath, like I am now. At 7 weeks, I threw up. We were going to Sam's Club, and I had, what did I have? Cinnamon, like the cinnamon swirl toast with butter on it on our way there. And Sam's Club is kind of far away from our house, probably like a 25-minute drive. And so we were driving there, and then I sat in the warm car afterwards waiting. I think Brett was changing Greta's diaper. And I was like, I gotta go. And May came with me, and I went into the Sam's Club bathroom and threw up. And poor little May was like, are you okay, Mom? And like hugged my back. And I was like, I'm okay. And there was other people in the public bathroom. So I was like, yeah, May, I have a baby in my belly, so that's why I'm throwing up. I wanted other people in the room to know too, because I was a little bit like, this is awkward and uncomfortable for everyone. And so, yeah, I threw up then at 7 weeks. And then I wrote that I had morning sickness. And this is when I think it started to get, it was kind of bad here at 7 weeks. And because at 8 weeks, 3 days, I wrote that I got meds from the doctor for sickness. I think that's, or I hope meds here, but medicine. I think that, yeah, Brett called in, and it was a different doctor on call or something. They called in some medicine for me. I ended up only using Unisom and B6, and it made me so tired. And I took it with Greta too. The Unisom is like a sleep aid, and then there's vitamin B6 that you take with it. And the Unisom made me so tired, and it just made me grouchy and angry, and so I didn't take it for like a long time. I wrote down that I was having aversions, and that smells bothered me. And it's funny because with both my pregnancies, and with the pregnancy that I miscarried, the baby that I miscarried during that pregnancy, I didn't have like a lot of problems with smells like some pregnant women. This pregnancy, like I'm talking even like a candle that would typically smell good that I've bought because it smells good. I have like a fall one downstairs, and it's too much for me. They're just smells that are just too strong, or that I just don't like. So it's kind of funny. That's as far as I wrote in here in my Ovia app. Let's see. At 8 weeks, where am I? Here we are. My vision, so I have glasses for driving and like driving at night and things like that, and for reading. I need to use them more. But I wrote that I was having vision changes. I think it's just like my focus hasn't been as good, and I think that just all of the muscles in your body, I don't know about all of them, but a lot of them relax during pregnancy. I think relaxin does that, and it even like the muscles in your eyes. I'm pretty sure, don't quote me on this, but I think that they like kind of relax too so that your eyes don't focus as well. I was constantly having cold and flu symptoms. I have chronic fatigue syndrome, and so that's kind of just along with that too, and pregnancy kind of flares that up for me, or chronic fatigue. So anyways, I'm trying to see, I don't think there was too much more. I said I had some dizziness in week 8, morning sickness and nausea, headaches, you know, not too much. I had lost, by almost week 9, I had lost 4 pounds, or 4 to 5 pounds already just from the morning sickness. With May, I think that I lost like 13 pounds with May and 17 pounds with Greta. I wish I remembered better. I have it written down or in another video, but this pregnancy, my loss was 16 pounds. Yeah, 16 pounds. And I'm gaining it back now. I'm still, when I went to the doctor, I was still 5 or 6 pounds lighter than my pre-pregnancy weight, which I'm happy about. Anyways, week 9 I think was pretty similar to week 8. Yeah, I don't have anything really. Well, actually by the next week I'd already lost 2 pounds. 2 more pounds. So during that week I must have had kind of, I wrote morning sickness down, I think for all, well, no, not every one of these days. No, not every one of these days. Well, I lost 2 pounds that week. In week 10, I'm trying to think, at week 9, or right before week 9, yeah, I went to the doctor. And oh, wow, I missed a huge part of this pregnancy, is that I had a subchorionic hemorrhage. I might have talked about this in the life update. I think that I did. But I had a subchorionic hemorrhage that was large, and so they were worried that I was going to either miscarry the baby, or that I would bleed the hemorrhage out, or that I would absorb it. And I ended up absorbing it. I'm really, really, really grateful. I had like the tiniest dot of blood on my toilet paper earlier on, probably around 8 weeks, 7 or 8 weeks, because I went to the doctor right before 7 weeks, and that's when I found that out. The ultrasound tech said, "I'm sorry, this pregnancy isn't viable," and then she found the heartbeat. We were kind of, it wasn't our best ultrasound that we've had because of how the tech handled it, but they did find the baby's heartbeat, and slowly every time we went back, we've had ultrasounds every single time we've gone now. I think this last one that we just had, which was the anatomy one, was our last one until we need to, you know, unless there needs to be another ultrasound. And so we've had one every single time, and we've loved it, and it's been nice seeing that the hemorrhage is gone now. But let me see, at week 9, yeah, so right before week 9, a day before week 9, I went in and got my blood work done. I didn't realize that I was getting the blood work done for the genetic testing to know if it's a boy or a girl, and to know, you know, I think it checks for Down syndrome and stuff like that. So I wasn't expecting it, but wait, really quickly, in week 10, I lost 2 pounds, or a pound or so, and it looks like I wasn't feeling that good. Leg cramps and other things like that, or other things. At 11 weeks, I don't know what day it was. I think it was that Monday, right after 11 weeks. It says that I had already lost another, well, oh wait, that one, what was I just reading? I think that I said that all right. Forgive me if I'm saying this wrong. Anyways, at 11 weeks, the doctor called. I'm pretty sure it was 11 weeks. I'm trying to see if I wrote it anywhere else in here. The doctor called when Brett was at work, and yeah, and he said everything, and like, you know, when a doctor calls, it's like, oh shoot, something came back wrong. He said everything looked good out for the blood test. What do you want me to do with the gender? And I was like, I I want to know it. You can tell me. One second, let me put it on speaker because my daughter's here. And so I put on speaker, and he told us that you're going to have another little girl, and we're so excited. We are really happy that we're having another girl. And we do have a name picked out. It's funny because me and Brett had shook on this name for Greta, and then a couple minutes later I was like, no, I take it back. So we like this name for a little while now, and I actually remember liking this name when I was younger too. But anyways, we're gonna keep that a secret, and you'll find out when she's born. We're pretty sure we'll stick with it, but who knows? You know, who knows what could happen with changing minds and stuff like that. So that was really exciting. We were not expecting to find out the gender that early. With Greta, they gave us the option, but it was going to be a lot of money because our insurance didn't cover it, and I guess our insurance covered it this time because they went ahead and did that, or they just take that blood work anyways. I'm not sure. So then let's see if there's anything else. I did write, I've seen vivid dreams. I mean, man, I think that I had them more earlier on in this pregnancy than I do now, because I don't have vivid dreams that often now, which is nice. But let's see. My emotions were really pretty good earlier on in the pregnancy. The second trimester has been harder emotionally, easier physically, and I think that it's going to switch back for the third trimester. And I kind of would prefer the harder physically and easier emotionally, just because emotions, it's just so hard to have such a short temper and to have low patience. It's hard. So anyways, so let's see. It seems like I gained back a little bit of weight in week 12, but maybe it was just like when I had weighed myself. So then I went back to the doctor right before week 13. And I had lost about 10 pounds at this point. I've written down here calm, stressed, worried, stressed, impatient, and calm. So, I mean, emotions can be all over the place in pregnancy. So that gets up to week 13. Let me maybe just go through week 13 too. I don't think that there's too much. Morning sickness, fatigue and exhaustion, vivid dreams. Yeah, I don't. Oh wait, here's where we learned. Here it is. Let me take back what I said. It was right before week 14 that we found out. We must have had the blood work done right before week 13. I think that's what happened. We had the blood work done right before week 13. And then a week later we found out the gender. So that's so fun. I wrote, this is an amazing ultrasound. So we had an ultrasound right before week 13. So 12 weeks, 6 days. It was an amazing ultrasound. It was a different ultrasound tech, and she checked the fluid behind the baby's neck, which is 1.6 normal. And the baby was measuring exactly 12 weeks, 6 days, and was wiggling so much. The baby was looking towards the ground and ended up flipping, and so we saw her face. So cute. And her heart rate was 152. The hemorrhage is almost gone. Hooray. And here's the picture of our sweet girl. So yeah, we are just so excited. We're so excited to have another girl. May and Greta are so excited. Greta is only one, so she doesn't understand as much as May does, with May being almost 3. But it's still really fun. We're so excited. So thank you guys for watching today's video. I got a comment on my videos asking if I would do more videos on chronic fatigue syndrome and pregnancy, and I would love to. I'm going to do, my next videos are that one, talking more about chronic fatigue and answering some questions. So if you have any questions, please just write them in the comments below about chronic fatigue and pregnancy, or just fatigue in pregnancy, how to deal with it. I mean, I'm not perfect at it. I'm not, but I can just share personally the things that answer the questions personally from my point of view. And I also have Greta's birthday video coming up, so there's a lot of stuff that I'm going to be posting. Here, I'll show you guys my belly. Let me step back a little bit. This is a little bit This is 22 weeks, so it's not accurate for the video description, but there's that. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I want to add about this pregnancy or the first trimester. I don't think there's anything else. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope to see you guys soon, and I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Bye.